Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Floydtoons, and today, object shows have been around since 2010 and have been growing exponentially within the last few years. But it wasn't always like this, and in fact, before BFDI was a relatively huge object show, the Wang twins barely received their first comment on their first episode when the show first began. Nowadays it is a little bit different, with new object shows rising to popularity almost every day. You'd think it'd be easier to get a following, right? Well, in this video I want to discuss just that. What would object shows be like if they were created in 2026? How would people feel about them, and what would change? Starting out with how they would look. Now, to be frankly honest, I highly doubt they would look anything like modern object shows, more specifically the hand-drawn style. This style is a bit too niche, or rather not something I could really see a random person just thinking of out of the blue. But then again, Wang twins in 2008 did exactly that. If I had to give an estimate of what object shows would actually look like if they were created in 2026, I'd probably say something like middle or late BFDI, since the animation would be smoother to match the current technologies, and style would not be as high quality per se as TPOT or any other modern object show. Now the writing, ask literally any modern OSC fan or commentary YouTuber, and they'll all tell you the same thing: modern OSC writing sucks. Apparently. Now whether you agree with this or not can be debated in the comments after this video. But in the meantime, for the writing of this so-called 2026 object show, since it is just starting out and object shows are basically unknown, I can presume that it would be contestant vote, sort of like Total Drama Island, or really any competition-based show. The interactions between characters would be less cartoony and more serious, with plots connecting more to real-life struggles and hardships. Each episode would pull on someone's heartstrings, and would also crack jokes from time to time to keep things balanced. Now for the characters, I imagine the cast to mostly revolve around tech, and personalities will be more relatable to actual people. Character stereotypes are non-existent, meaning every character will not be a character, but rather an actual person to one another, and will share hobbies and interests like humans. This will play into how people perceive the show, which I'll get into later. For the overall plot and structure of the show, I think it would be something like the Amazing Digital Circus, in which case these said objects are competing for their own freedom, or $1 million. If the latter is true, this means that their own freedom is the twist or turning point of the show. As for a villain, if object shows were created in 2026, this villain I can assume would be the funniest Disney villain head person imaginable. A type of villain you can relate to, or even sing along with if the time came. Finally, for the part most of you have probably been waiting for, what would people think of this object show? According to IMDb, despite most OSC members disliking most of the recent BFDI episode, TPOT 23, it actually received an 8.4/10 on their site as of currently, and episodes such as TPOT 19 received a 9.6/10, going back to the Amazing Digital Circus from my previous point, that received an 8.2/10 on the IMDb charts despite its popularity, making the average out of these three numbers 8.7/10. So if we are basing this of IMDb's ratings, the show would be a decent success. As for popularity is. To sum up, if all the things I just mentioned were to happen in 2026, I think we could potentially have had a hit on our hands. Regardless though, BFDI already has proven itself worthy of being a monumental show for many across the world. And not only that, but considering how big it is now, the tours, meetups, and events this community has been able to have, no matter when the show was created, and how people like it, this show was, and still is, great. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to my channel for more like this. And if you want to see an object show that is coming out in 2026 that actually has some of the things previously mentioned, check out my object show FFP, which is a competition-based object show musical with romance, drama, lore, and much more. The trailer will be in the description and pinned comment of this video, and the pilot is releasing very soon, so spread the word around. That's all from me. Thank you guys for watching and tuning in. My name is Floydtoons, but now I have to tunes out. And remember, keep calm, carry on, listen to Weezer, Chromacopia, and Slayer, and stay neutral / be the best. Peace.